If you haven't noticed, there's a new super hot first-person shooter in town. And no, I don't mean Call of Duty Warzone, although that's also blown up in recent weeks. Instead, I'm talking about Valorant. This is the first title developed by Riot Games that isn't set in the League of Legends universe. That alone makes it interesting, but it's really the gameplay that has people so excited. The closest parallel is Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Almost everyone who has played the game says that the movement speed and twitch-based shooting feels pretty similar to Valve's long-running franchise. The colourful art style and character abilities, which include ice walls, poisonous gas and trip mines, have also drawn comparisons with Blizzard's Overwatch. Most of the powers revolve around visibility though, and reducing your opponent's sightlines. So while it may look like Overwatch, you shouldn't really expect too many over-the-top weapons and finishes. The response from early testers has been overwhelmingly positive, and some professional gamers, such as Harrison Sam Chang, the guy who finished second at the Fortnite World Cup last year, have already said that they'll be switching to the game full-time. This week, Riot launched a closed beta with various streamers, influencers, and esports organizations. But here's the kinda genius part. Select Twitch streams have got a special drops enabled tag, which means that random viewers will be given beta keys. That's kept the viewership and general interest around the game unusually high. We don't know if Valorant will be a hit when it actually launches, but the early signs are positive, and there's a good chance it could turn into a heavyweight esport, just like CSGO, Call of Duty, and Rainbow Six Siege. Valorant is just the crest of a Riot Games wave that's about to come crashing down on all of us. If you haven't been keeping up, here's everything that the company has planned for 2020. Well, that we've been told about anyway. First up, Legends of Runeterra. This is a digital card game that had a couple of closed betas last year and then was released in open beta a few months back. The final version, 1.0 or whatever you want to call it, is coming out on April 30th. And when that happens, it won't just be available on PC, but iOS and Android too. There are already tons of digital card games to choose from. Hearthstone is arguably the biggest, but there's also Gwent, Magic the Gathering Arena, The Elder Scrolls Legends, and even Artifact, which has been a bit of a mess, but Valve says it's going to fix it. So why should you bother with Legends of Runeterra? Well, first of all, it has that hook into a League of Legends universe. So if you play Riot's MOBA religiously, or have any interest in the champions and lore, it might appeal to you. And then there's the economy. Legends of Runeterra doesn't rely on digital booster packs filled with random cards. You know, the thing that's designed to infuriate you and drain your bank account. Instead, Runeterra has something called wildcards, which can be bought with premium currency or earned through the game. It's then possible to trade these for something specific of the same rarity, so a common card for a common card, a rare card for a rare card, and so forth. Riot, of course, wants to make some money with this game, but its take on free-to-play feels a little fairer than most of the competition. So who knows, that could be enough to take over the genre. Regular League of Legends is still going strong on Mac and PC. Last year, you might recall that Riot jumped on the auto chess bandwagon with a League of Legends mode called Teamfight Tactics. It's been a big success, and last month Riot released it as a standalone game for iOS and Android. If you prefer the classic MOBA though, good news. Riot is developing a version called Wild Rift for consoles and touchscreen devices. And that's a really big deal because it could greatly expand the game's player base. Someone might start on Wild Rift and then move up to the Mac and PC version, or just become a general fan of Riot Games and start playing a bunch of their other stuff. So just to reiterate, Teamfight Tactics is already on mobile, and both Legends of Runeterra and Wild Rift should be launching on smartphones this year. That's a lot of competitive multiplayer that should only become more compelling and viable as 5G connectivity rolls out over the next few years. Riot Games has also commissioned Arcane, an animated TV series set in the League of Legends universe. We don't have an exact release date, but an early trailer did suggest they'd be coming out in 2020. There's also Riot Forge, a program that allows external developers to make games with the League of Legends license. 2 projects have been announced so far, called Convergence and Ruined King. Neither has a release date, but it's definitely possible that at least one of them will come out this year, further expanding the League of Legends brand. And let's not forget about professional League of Legends, because as my colleague Jess Condit pointed out in a story last week, esports are in the spotlight right now. While every traditional sport is shut down and bleeding money, Pro League is somehow putting on games every week, drawing in viewers and delivering on most of its advertising and sponsorship agreements. The four major leagues, that's the LCS in North America, the LEC in Europe, the LPL in China, and the LCK in Korea, are all pushing ahead with online versions of their respective spring splits. That's the first of two mini-seasons that build up to the World Championship. Normally, the spring split finals for each league are played in these huge stadiums, and that's obviously not going to be happening. And no one is really sure how MSI, a prestigious mid-season tournament, is going to take place if teams can't travel or are forced to play through different servers. And yes, sure, there have been some production issues with muted microphones and some weird audio levels. But given esports is supposed to be a really volatile industry, professional League of Legends has stayed surprisingly stable, and that could change how investors, brands, and traditional broadcasters perceive it in the future. So all of this is to say, don't sleep on Riot Games, because this is a massive year for the company, and regardless of how you like to play, whether that's on PC, console, mobile, or a mixture of all three, you're going to start seeing a lot of their stuff. The company's esports audience could also grow even larger as people are stuck indoors and search for something that scratches the same itch as their favourite football or basketball team. Of course, there's no guarantee that any of Riot's new projects, including Valorant, will take off and find the same success as League of Legends. But who knows, one of them might just become your next big obsession. And if that happens, Riot will look back on 2020 as a major success. If you liked this video and want to see more just like them, please consider subscribing. And as always, I apologise for the slightly weird location, lighting, and audio quality. All of Engadget's editors are working from home right now, so please be patient as we figure all of this out. Thank you for your continued support, it honestly means the world to us, and please just stay safe.